I guess all of the people who have joined here, they have joined our calls before. So this is going to be our normal open discussion that we do where the sessions are interactive. And you all are invited to share your experiences, share your stories, your learnings, or ask your questions. So today's topic is the topic of infidelity, its causes and impact. So, when it comes to infidelity, or in normal language, the word that we use, cheating in romantic relationship, then this topic is vast, right? It's really big because there are different kinds of cheating involved. It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be social, it could be money related, it could only be flirting, it could be a combination of different things. So this is a really a vast topic. So before we begin the topic, I'll just give a brief about, how infidelity can look like. So it can be different in different relationships. It could be sexual. It could only be flirting. It could only be emotional, that one partner is emotionally indulged or involved or interested, overly interested in other people. It could be kind of internet based as well, where you are basically not talking to somebody you know, or maybe somebody you know a little bit, and you are talking about your sexual interests with them, and you're discussing about your fantasies or X or Y or Z or different kind of stories. Now, when it comes to causes of infidelity, so basically we can categorize them into two different causes. So one cause would be depending upon the kind of state from which the person who's cheating, he or she, is coming from. So one example could be a situational kind of infidelity where a person is drunk, or they are totally out of control of their senses, and they are not able to um, conceive what exactly the situation is, and they end up acting in a certain way. It can also happen very frequently with people who are afraid of rejection. So people who are constantly seeking approval, and they somehow feel fearful that, oh God, if I do not engage with this person, then I will be rejected by this person, and then I'm going to feel abandoned, or I'm going to lose this person. It could be coming from different states of fears as well. Situational thing also could involve a kind of situation where you really love your partner, but you are being forced into a certain kind of act, and due to your own fear, you're not able to communicate it to your partner. Another kind of thing that can happen is when one person in a relationship is more oriented towards non-monogamy, and because when we get married, or when we get into a committed relationship, usually the untalked definition of a committed relationship or a marriage is that there will be monogamy, right? And not everybody is monogamous, but because this is an unset condition, people have not talked about it, and then they get into these kind of things due to their impulses because of how they are. Another kind of cause when it comes to people things leading to cheating or infidelity could be a lack of satisfaction in the marriage, lack of interest in the marriage, or no interest in the marriage. It could also be segmented in different areas, like a person is sexually fulfilled in the relationship but emotionally very distant from their partner. It could be opposite also, that there is good emotional intimacy in the relationship, but there is lack of sexual intimacy, lack of absence, physical absence of one person in the relationship, and one person feels so lonely and distant and unsatisfied and discontent with the relationship that they indulge into other relationships to fulfill their needs, maybe emotional needs, maybe physical needs, or different whatever kinds of needs. Right now, what else I could say, that because usually when we talk about infidelity, um, this is an unset condition which two people said when they come in the relationship, right? So this is kind of, a condition which maybe two people have not talked about, but it's kind of understood by both of these people that monogamy is going to be there. If monogamy is not there, then it would lead to cheating, right? So that's that. Now, now coming to um, how it impacts, right? So the impact on the person cheating could be either no impact, or the second kind of thing which usually occurs in most people is a lot of guilt and a lot of shame coming up, where they feel like really guilty for the act of what they have done, but a lot of people cannot stop themselves from getting indulged into such kind of acts, and they end up doing it again and again. um, how it impacts the person who is on a receiving end and the partner. It could lead to anger, it could lead to sadness, it could lead to depression, it could lead to very low self esteem, because when one partner cheats, the other partner perceives it in a way that they are not attractive or they are not good enough in the relationship, and they are not providing what the other partner needs, they are not meeting their needs. So it gets into the loop of self loathing, very low self esteem, feeling very unworthy, feeling very undeserving. And there's a lot of betrayal involved. So these kind of things come up. It could also lead to PTSD, um, and sometimes it can become very, very, very traumatic for the person at the receiving end of infidelity. So that's a little bit of brief on this topic, because this is such a vast, vast topic. So we will get into um, the part where we will talk about how we can overcome this, and what we can do about the situation. But right now, I'll open it to all of you. If you are getting any questions, or if you want to share, your own issue, or you want to share your own experience, or how even you gotten over maybe a situation like this, then it's over to you guys. You can just raise your hand, or you can unmute yourself and talk. Akarma, anything you would like to add onto this in case I've missed anything?
No, nothing that comes to my mind right now. Um, I think it would be good that if anybody would like to share something, we want to keep this as an interactive session. So many people have joined. So, what is the reason for you to show interest in this? Yes, Rina, go ahead. You want to say something? You can unmute and talk.
Thank you, Akarma. Anamika, tell me one thing. Supposing in a couple, from the husband's end, if there have been multiple infidelity issues, okay, and they have a child and want to stay together definitely for the well-being of the child, then how does the other partner deal with it? See, and mind you, the person guilty may at some point in time feel that, okay, he or she has made a mistake and was wrong. But sometimes for the partner who's suffering, it is not always easy to accept somebody romantically once you've known the past.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's very hurtful, and it's very painful for a person who is at the receiving end of this thing, and to um, to build trust again, and that too building trust after recurring situations, recurring incidences of infidelity is not easy, right? And that is why we say, if there is a couple who is going through recurring episodes of this kind of a thing, and the receiving and the, let's suppose, wife in this case, and she's suffering in this, and in case both of them decide to stay in the relationship, then we recommend that take professional help, right? Because see, the thing is that usually when it comes to couples and people, humans, any humans, we go to therapists, we go to counselors, we go to coaches after everything has gone wrong in life. So I feel that because there is so much unsaid in the monogamy relationship, because it's common, right? Monogamy is the commonly accepted situation in the society right now, and there is so much
Mm-hmm.
unsaid that two people have not even discussed it before getting married. So I sometimes feel that rather than getting married and then everything has gone wrong in your life, um, why don't people go for premarital counseling, so that they can set the conditions straight with themselves, that okay, this is how I am and this is you are, and this is what we expect from each other in the relationship. So kind of setting a very clear boundary thing with each other. But the thing is that that's not the normal imprint of the society, so we wait for the time where everything goes wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And and then it's very hard to build trust. But taking help of a professional is important, because it's important. Communication in this particular case plays a really, really important role, because like I told you, there could be different causes of infidelity. Hmm?
Mm-hmm.
So people who continue to cheat again and again, a lot of times they have a lot of insecurity and fear which is there inside them, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
maybe they are going through a situational thing, or they need to figure out, because a lot of times what happens that we sometimes even try to know the other partner, but we don't even know ourselves whether we are monogamous or not, because there are many people who are not monogamous and they think that they can be in a monogamous relationship, and later on they figure out that after 1 to 5 years of marriage, they figure out that, oh god, this is because this happens naturally and has happened normally in so many people, where they can very clearly say that I'm in love with two people at a time, I'm in love even with three people at a time, and
Yes.
they're not lying. They actually are in love with two or three people at a time. So
I think it's more about getting naturally swayed by attention, by
mm,
affection.
yeah,
I
absolutely.
I want to, yeah. Uh, so I want to look at this situation. Uh, let's just like dissect this situation a little bit. I think it will be a lot easier to understand that way. Um, so there are two people in a relationship. Now, many combinations can happen over here. So let's say that one partner, let's say the wife comes from certain kind of emotional traumas and wounds that she has never looked at, and she has her own security that she brings in the marriage. Now,
Mm.
um, this can this can make the other person not feel as connected with the wife. The husband may not feel as connected with the wife, and because of that, they may start looking at that connection and that intimacy outside somewhere. So that's
Absolutely.
one of category. Second category could be that the person, the husband comes from insecurities and all that,
Mm-hmm.
and the wife um, may start to look for that intimacy outside somewhere, or it could be that they come from their insecurities and they themselves are looking for uh, the intimacy outside. So that's one area where some kind of help, as Namika was mentioning, some kind of professional help can help to heal the situation. that what is it? If two people are open to look at their insecurities and what is causing them to go down this track, then a professional help can help. Now, another category of people is those, as Namika was mentioning, is that is that is how their sexuality is. That the person has that both. So it doesn't matter. It's not that they are unsatisfied with their wife or their husband or anything like that. It's just that that's what they want, and they have never um, talked about it, and they have never disclosed this kind of thing with their partner, because this is not something that anybody would be very open to discuss, since this is not an acceptable thing. When you get married, then it is you are supposed to now lock in and commit to one person. So even if the person has that kind of urge and that tendency to seek this kind of thing, they will not speak out about it.
Mhm.
So there, it may not be about any kind of emotional wounds or traumas or anything. It could be just that that's what the kind of sexuality this person has. So let's say, for example, the person is bisexual. So that's what they like. So it's just that that's what is in their nature. Some people are homosexuals. So given the society structure, many homosexual people, whether it's gay or lesbian, they still go in the marriage because this is what the structure should be, and yet they pursue that thing outside. So it is important to understand that what is actually the case here. Now, the other category of people could be a partner is just, you know, coming from very narcissistic traits. So, the areas where things are not about um, the emotional wounds or from insecurities, those areas are a lot more harder to actually fix. You cannot fix someone's sexuality. You cannot
Mhm.
fix someone's sexual orientation. And this is so it's more about that they will hide it as much as they can, and once it's out, then it's out. Then it would feel like infidelity. But that's what their sexual orientation was. So now there is nothing to fix here, nothing to work here. It is more about whether the other partner is ready to accept it or not accept it. That's what it comes down to. So
Mhm.
it could be about kids, it could be about finances, it could be about anything. Reasons don't really matter. Reasons shouldn't really matter as such. What should matter is that are you okay to accept it or not? For whatever reason you are accepting, then accept. So it's not that we are accepting for the sake of kids and all that. Fine, fine. We are accepting for the sake of kids. Fine. Then accept, then be happy with the setup. Then there is no point feeling victimized every day, every hour about it when the decision is already being made that it is done for the sake of kids. Then the person has to find their own happiness in this situation. And if the person is not able to find their own happiness in this situation, then they should not use kids or any other reason to continue. Then they should
Akarma,
find courage.
yeah, in such a situation, if the couple is living, supposing in different rooms, so to say,
Yes.
how do you ensure that your kid does not stop believing in the philosophy of love and relationships? Because I'm sure the child, whatever children see, is what they believe in. So if they
Yes.
see a setup like this at home, um, how do you stop them from not believing in love and relationships? Because it might affect them when they grow up and as they grow up.
Definitely, it will affect them as they grow up. And my question is, what is the urge for us to have them thinking in any other way?
And how do you deal with such a situation? Do you go
You
out
deal
for
with such.
trips more often
No,
together
that would be
as
just
a
a
family?
distraction. No, that would be just a distraction. I am saying that, let's say, for example, just as an example, let's say, if your husband is being disloyal. hmm?
Mhm.
Now, you, for the sake of your kids, you have accepted that I cannot leave this person and I have to live. So now, in order to live with this person under the same roof, you have to develop some level of love for this person anyway. So may not be as a husband and wife or something. So some level of acceptance you need to develop. If you are living under the same roof with this person, and every time you see this person and you are feeling victimized and bitter and all that, what lesson you want to teach your kids? If
Like
you really
supposing
want to
if
teach your kids about, if you really want your kids to learn about love, then get out of that marriage if that is the case, because that they will learn that it is important to put the step down. If something is not working, then there are plenty. Love is always there. If we do not have to live like this, either we develop love and show the kids that I can still love this person. See, it's okay. Whatever this person is doing, I can still love this person, and that's what the kids will learn. That we can still love people even if they are making mistakes. And if
maybe
we are
being
not
good
doing that,
friends,
you can
maybe
be
being
good
good
friends.
friends.
Yeah, yeah, of course, being good friends, and just accepting the part that in this husband wife setup, this situation is going to be there, and if we minus that, then looking at all the other good things that are there and showing the kids that it's not just about sex, it's not just about having the, although husband and wife relationship, the sex is one of the major factors, right? If you were to be friends with your husband, then what is the difference between being friends with somebody else? So in a romantic relationship also, if we are converting a romantic relationship into friendship, then there is a certain level of denial that we are doing for ourselves, for our needs.
So,
So the
Anamika,
kids
as
are
a
going to
woman,
learn this.
yeah, Anamika, as a woman, how do you perceive this situation and the best way to deal with it?
Yeah. I would say the same thing which Akarma is saying, and not at all saying that it's going to be easy, right? It could sound simple, but it's not easy. So because whenever an incident like this happens, there's a lot of grieving involved in this process, and it's we cannot reach this state which Akarma is talking about until we have not completed the process of grieving. So two things we have talked about till now. One is first first communicating and trying to understand the reason that why exactly these things are happening, right? So not from a victim viewpoint, but from just an awareness viewpoint, that why this other person is doing what they are doing. So they could be doing it, like we talked about, three different things, because because their orientation is like that, because by design they are non-monogamous. It's not something that they have chosen, they have been designed like that, right? So when somebody is a homosexual, we don't go and question them now, why did you become a homosexual? But even we have brought acceptance to a different kind of sexual orientations, but it's so hard for us to bring acceptance to different kind of relationship preferences which people can have. And trust me, most humans are non-monogamous in nature. They were not created for monogamy, right? So it's very hard for people to accept the sexual preference, because हम उसको हमारी आदत है कि अगर monogamous relationship में हम चीजों को personally ले लेते हैं, right? बट इसको सामने वाले को एज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग देखना बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, राइट. दो चीजें हो सकती हैं कि या तो ये हो सकता है कि दे केयर अबाउट यू, या तो ये हो सकता है दे डोंट केयर अबाउट यू, राइट. Bringing awareness to either of the things, that they care about you, but they don't know any other way around because they have their own fears and insecurities. They are seeking validation and approval. They are living from insecurity and fear. तो जब हम उनको इस स्टेट में देखते हैं as just a human being living with their own insecurity, in that case also you start seeing them as human who has flaws and who can make mistakes. Other thing can be कि उनका डिजाइन अलग है आपके डिजाइन से. Then also you develop an understanding that oh, their design is different. अब किसी को अगर इटालियन पसंद है, चाइनीज नहीं पसंद है, we don't go and question them ना कि मुझे तो चाइनीज पसंद है, how can you like Italian?
True, true.
Right. And then the third thing is कि they don't care about you. Right. And it's not easy to accept that fact that your partner does not care about you. And maybe the love has vanished in the relationship, or it was not there in the first place, and that person married because of some reason, or maybe over a period of time you just have lost interest in romance and X or Y or Z. Or maybe they are just simply a narcissist, or they're just people who lack empathy for other people. In that case also, yes. Yes, Akarna. Yeah. In that case also, it is really important that you bring clarity कि इस point पे acceptance लाना कि आप नींबू के पेड़ में पपाया, मैंगो, ग्रेप्स नहीं उगा सकते. नींबू का पेड़ नींबू का ही पेड़ रहेगा, एंड उसकी कैपेसिटी है सिर्फ लेमन फ्रूट देने की. It doesn't have the capacity to give you mangoes, and you are expecting mangoes from a lemon tree, right? तो इसमें this is important. If the other person does not care, then you come back to your place and you start to heal yourself ki why am I pushing so hard, right? So not from a victim point of view, but asking yourself a question ki what is it that I am trying to accomplish. Uske baad agar
that's the point. एक minute, that's the point I want to come to as well, Reena. That's the point I was trying to make. Ki, what is that mean? So let's just look at it from this angle. Ki, ideally speaking, what you are saying is correct. That the kids should learn about love from us and all that. Ideally speaking, correct. Your expectation is totally correct. But practically speaking, when we look around, majority of families are dysfunctional in nature. So when we look at that, तो ये कौन सी हमारी वो नीड है जो हमें ये ड्राइव कर रही है कि मुझे दिख रहा है कि मेरी फैमिली डिस्फंक्शनल है, मुझे दिख रहा है कि ये लेमन ट्री से मुझे मैंगो नहीं मिलेगा, फिर भी क्यों मैं इस चीज पे अड़ा हूं कि मुझे अपने बच्चों को ये प्रूव करना है कि लव ऐसा होता है, और अभी मेरे बच्चों को अगर ये लेसन नहीं मिलेगा तो बड़े होके वो भी डिस्फंक्शनल हो जाए. तो ये नीड क्या है, ये आइडेंटिफाई करने की जरूरत है कि जब मुझे दिख रहा है मैं जिस सिचुएशन में हूँ उस सिचुएशन में ये पॉसिबल नहीं है, तो भी मैं ये एक्सपेक्ट क्यों कर रहा हूँ इस सिचुएशन से. तो या तो मैं उस सिचुएशन से निकलूं और उस सिचुएशन को चेंज करूं, क्योंकि वो इंसान तो चेंज होने वाला है. अगर वो इंसान नहीं चेंज होने वाला है तो मैं अपनी ये एक्सपेक्टेशन लाद क्यों रहा हूँ इस सिचुएशन पे. तो
अगर मैं एक
वो क्या है वो,
एग्जांपल, yeah, I wanted to share an example कि let's suppose meditation का example लेते हैं, right? तो आपका सब कुछ हम ले लेते हैं, phone, laptop, all the gadgets, everything that can distract you from your life, and we send you to a very beautiful place in the mountain which has all the luxury and everything that is there. You don't have to worry about anything in life, and we tell you that okay, now you meditate, all your stress has been taken away, so you can meditate over there, right? And anybody can meditate over there. But meditation happens कि आप ट्रैफिक में हो, प्रॉब्लम के बीच हो, सब कुछ है उसमें भी, if you can still meditate, then you have reached a point where you can say that yes, I am in a meditative state, because पहाड़ में जाके everybody can meditate, right? So हम अपने बच्चों को वो वैसी वाली इमेज क्यों दिखाना चाहते हैं? This is the perfect image of what life is, because we are showing them that okay, तुम पहाड़ में जाओ और मेडिटेशन कर लो, right? We are not showing them कि love can exist even in the midst of all of these things, even in the midst of chaos, even in the midst of problems, even in the midst of all of these things. It can be there, it can exist, because life में सी रिलेशनशिप्स में स्टेरियोटाइप्स तभी क्रिएट होते हैं ना जब बोलते हैं कि जैसे कि हमारे पेरेंट्स हमको दिखाते हैं, राइट, एंड दे फोर्स यू इनटू अब्यूजिव रिलेशनशिप सेइंग कि हमने तो काट ली अपनी जिंदगी, तुम नहीं काट सकते, देखो हमारी मैरिज तो सक्सेसफुल है। कोई मैरिज सक्सेसफुल नहीं है, दैट इज नॉट सक्सेस इन द मैरिज, देयर इज जीरो लव इन दैट मैरिज, इट्स लाइक टू डेड पीपल लिविंग टुगेदर, there is zero love between them, but they will call it a success in the relationship. Why? Because they live under the same roof, they sleep on the same bed, regardless of the fact whether there is love or not. So ye bhi to kind of we are stereotyping kids in the same way, right? Because until and unless we come in acceptance of this thing ki हाँ अभी ये है and this happens, and I'm not saying कि kids don't deserve, every kid deserves everything, but a lot of things are there जो kind of हमारे कंट्रोल में ही नहीं है, and we are fighting upon things which we can like literally do nothing about.
इस पॉइंट पे I want to say something. Rina, I know you want to say something. मैं जैसे एक पॉइंट बोलूंगा, then we'll come to you. So why we are not able to do this? ये हो क्यों रहा है? मैं इस पे फोकस लाना चाहता हूँ. क्वेश्चन को मैं थोड़ा सा बैक फुट पे लेके जाना चाहता हूँ. इट्स नॉट अबाउट कि हम किड्स को कैसे सिखाएं, और ये लेट्स जस्ट टेक वन स्टेप बैक. मेजॉरिटी ऑफ विमेन हम बात करते हैं जिनसे who are going through this. Why I'm saying majority of women? Because we are mostly working with them. So I'm sure men are also going through this kind of thing, but वो आते ही नहीं बात करने के लिए, तो we don't know. So women who talk to us about these things, उनको ये चीज इतनी पिंच क्यों होती है ना? क्योंकि दे फील कि ये सिचुएशन उनके ऊपर थोपी गई. they didn't want this. उन्होंने कुछ नहीं किया. It's like their husband are cheating, their husband are doing all these things, and now they are at the receiving end where they are now supposed to pick um, the breadcrumb. कि अभी बच्चों को उनको सिखाना है, उनको दिखाना है, they have to become an ideal and all that, and they themselves are not able to come to terms कि ये हो गया है, क्योंकि उनको ये लगता है कि मैंने तो नहीं किया ना ये. इट्स लाइक माय हस्बैंड हैज डन दिस एंड ऑल दैट, अब मैं इसमें फंस गई हूँ. And now the dream that I had to have a normal family, a loving husband, showing kids, all this, ये टूट गया है अचानक से. और अब ये मेरी जिम्मेदारी बनती हुई दिख रही है कि मुझे इस चीज को संभालना है. तो ये नहीं हो पाता है. एंड आई गेट दैट कि ये हमने नहीं इनवाइट किया है, ये आ गया है, ये एक एक्सीडेंट हो गया है अचानक से. अब वो एकदम एक्सीडेंट हो गया है, एंड नाउ आई हैव टू डील विद दिस सिचुएशन. सो
Thanks,
दैट इज वेयर,
Akarna. That's quite an insight, and
यस,
I think there are
दिस इज द
people
रीजन
raising
व्हाई वी
hands.
आर, हाँ, दिस इज द रीजन व्हाई women feel this way. तो ये दिस इज अबाउट ग्रीविंग, दिस इज अबाउट कि आपका इतना सपना टूटा है, आपका एक ड्रीम
Hmm.
टूटा है, आप कुछ चाह रहे थे जो टूट गया है, और उसको अभी तक ना हील नहीं किया है हमने. तो वी गोइंग थ्रू अ ग्रीविंग प्रोसेस. इंस्टेड ऑफ कंप्लीटिंग द ग्रीविंग प्रोसेस, वी आर ट्राइंग टू फिक्स. हम बटोर रहे हैं वो टूटे हुए चीज को, हम वो ग्रीव नहीं कर रहे हैं इस चीज से कि, और आपका सपना गलत नहीं था. आई एम नॉट सेइंग यू आर टोटली फाइन. एवरी वुमन, एवरी मैन एक्सपेक्ट्स दिस फ्रॉम देयर वाइफ और एक्सपेक्ट्स दिस फ्रॉम देयर हस्बैंड. ड्रीम वाज टोटली फाइन. ओनली प्रॉब्लम इज कि आप शायद गलत इंसान से एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे थे. तो वो इंसान केपेबल नहीं था आपके साथ वो ड्रीम को मटेरियलाइज करने में. और और इसमें आपको ये लगा कि मेरा तो कुछ था ही नहीं इसमें, ये तो मेरी वजह से तो कुछ हुआ ही नहीं है, ये तो कोई और करके आ गया, किसी और ने रायता फैला दिया, अब साफ मेरे को करना पड़ रहा है. और अब सारी जिम्मेदारी मेरे पे आ रही है. अब मेरे को अपने बच्चों को भी दिखाना है कि लव क्या होता है, कैसे होता है, उनके सामने मुझे एक रोल मॉडल बनना है. और मेरे से बना नहीं जा रहा है, रोज रोज मैं इस इंसान की शक्ल नहीं देख सकती हूँ, इसके साथ बात नहीं कर सकती हूँ, ऑल दैट, फीलिंग ऑल दिस प्रेशर. First, you have to fix this pressure. First, you have to breathe through it. Does that make sense? Mm,
Thank you. Yes, it does. It does.
cool. Yes, Seema and Saita got your hands up.
Yeah, so just listening to everybody and just wanted to share something. So it is like I think infidelity is now because I've been like separated, so maybe I was able to contemplate. But when I got married and I was coming from a dysfunctional family background, and so was he, which I was not aware about till we got married. And so when I started observing things in my husband, and I thought it will work through. So, on the honeymoon, the first thing that happened was the person never used to walk with me. So it was like, what? Why he's like not walking with me? So, after three continuous days happening this every time, and so I just collected my courage to ask because we didn't had a love marriage, and it was like just happened in a pressure from his family side and my family side. So it was just, to me, it's like more of a situational marriage. So, the after 3 days when I went and asked him, the answer came was, it was like, we are not a match. And you're much better looking person than me. And I feel little not okay because I was taller than him. And so I was like, but I have not said anything. I have not commented anything about it. And now we are husband wife. Maybe we can work through. So he said, then you have to like give me a lot of time. And I was like, okay, fine. But after a few days, I started realizing it's not more about me, and it was more about coming from a conflicted background where he was more as a person, if you can say, is not good in a confined relationship. And like you and Anamika Karma, you and Anamika was telling us that some people are not capable of being in a in a confined relationship, and for a very long time they don't even know. But this my ex-husband knew it, and maybe that's why he never wanted to get married. So he works very fine with non-committed relationship, open relationships where he can walk out, walk in as per his. So he tried to be in a confined relationship. So every time the frustration used to happen, then the hitting started, lot many things. And on the other end, the receiving end, because I had so much of pressure from my family to work it out, and I had to like, for hitting, they used to say that it's okay, sometimes women are able to speak, and men are not able to control it. So they will hit you. So every time they were giving me some new statement and new belief that I used to pick up and try to work through. But 14 years when I wasted, and the major emotional infidelity or I should say a bond happened, I realized that I'm babysitting somebody and मेरे से नहीं हो रहा. And so when I approached my family, they said that no, hoga. Like this is such a trend that husband is having an affair, women is having an affair. It's all right, and you should carry forward. I said, well, in that case, I only wanted a person to myself, and because I'm being loyal, that is the only thing. And I understand what you're saying, but that's not me. And they said, then you're going to spoil the life of your kid, and we are not going to support you in your divorce. And I was like, okay. So it was a setback because I thought maybe they will understand my point. But at that point of time, I realized that if I carry forward in this relationship, then I honestly don't have that capacity to go forward and be with the person, forgive him, and give another chance to the relationship, because it was happening a lot with small, small flings, flirtations, everything I was accepting about him. It's okay, it's okay. But then I realized it's not okay with me. So when I took this decision of separation, um, the biggest question that I had in my mind was about my son, how he will be around it. So, for a very long time, I was in a guilt. But slowly and gradually, when I started seeing that rather than giving a conflicted atmosphere where I'm not so happy and respectful because I was silent around my husband, we didn't had many good, you know, talks or normal journal talks in the day to day life. It was more of silence or it was more of violence. So I realized this is not going to work. And what I'm trying to show my son is something which is definitely not a very good atmosphere. And I realized that I'm also coming from a dysfunctional family where, whether one partner likes something or not, it was just like pushed on the other person, and you had to carry forward. But I realized that yes, maybe there will be a lot of downside to it, that the struggles will be too much. But definitely, I don't want my son to be in a conflicted, background. So I took a call, and yes, I think I attracted another man, and then with that man, I didn't wanted to like cry, cry, cry. I cried for a few days because I was attached to that person, because at that time also I was in a vulnerable state, and that was a wrong decision, because to get into a relationship from a broken so-called marriage and again getting again into the jumping into another relationship. But what I realized from this man was that he is coming from an avoidant kind of a nature, where when it comes to committing, or when it comes to being a one person just with one confined person, he doesn't do well. And he cheats not because he doesn't love the person or he's not available for the person, but it was coming more of that, you know his he used to feel sexually attracted to different people. And so I realized that I won't be able to do it because I cannot do that. So it made me feel better, because I was like, fine, it's better to be where I am, and the choice that I want to make is to have a partner with maybe same kind of things that we can share, but not this. So yeah, definitely, if you are forgiving somebody and you are like accepting them again, then please make sure that you are yourself very much sorted and are able to
That
pass.
uh, yeah, that is a point which is a very good point, and I want to highlight that point again for everyone. कि लोगों के सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन अलग अलग हो सकते हैं और होते हैं एंड योर पार्टनर कुड बी बाय योर पार्टनर कुड बी होमोसेक्सुअल योर पार्टनर कुड हैव इंटरेस्ट इन पॉलीगैमी ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर देयर अगर आप ये चीज जान रहे हो कि उनका सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन वैसा है और अगर आप उस चीज को एक्सेप्ट कर भी रहे हो एंड ऑल दैट स्टिल अंडरस्टैंड वन थिंग a husband wife relationship is not just friendship unless sexual intimacy is not something of very high priority for you and you can think that yes I can live like that, then that's fine. But understand key, this is one of the basic needs. This is one of the basic human needs like food, clothes, shelter, water, sex, sexual intimacy is one of the basic needs. So do not jump very quickly to this thing कि ठीक है, how about we can convert it into a friendship, क्योंकि ये सस्टेनेबल नहीं हो पाता है बहुत लोगों के लिए. दे डू गेट फ्रस्ट्रेटेड. तो आपको जहां पे आपको अपने पार्टनर से इंफिडिलिटी का प्रॉब्लम हो रही थी वही इस सिचुएशन को एक्सेप्ट करके कहीं ना कहीं आप ही एक दो साल में उस ट्रैक पे चले जाओगे बिकॉज नाउ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग इट फ्रॉम योर पार्टनर एंड यू आर ओके दैट आई एम नॉट गेटिंग इट फ्रॉम माई पार्टनर, but then at the same time you have the need. So be very conscious about this thing कि a husband-wife relationship is not just about friendship. Yes, they should be friends, but this part is something which you cannot express with anybody else. uh, आपको friends तो अपने भाई बहनों में भी मिल जाएंगे. You could be friends with your parents also, but sexual intimacy is only that you will express with your romantic partner. तो बहुत जल्दी इस चीज पर जंप मत कर जाना कि let's just convert it into a friendship. uh, know your own sexuality as well. Can you survive without it? Don't deny this need for yourself. Otherwise, आप उस ट्रैक पे चले जाओगे फिर कुछ टाइम के बाद. So very important thing to understand that this is to be to be
So
looked at it
karma,
from.
karma. So this can be like, if we are being aware about everything about ourselves, I think it's very important to know your love language and intimacy language also. When I say intimacy, so maybe after a certain age, maybe if sex is not happening very often, but it's happening at a say maybe where the partners are on the same page, which means
हाँ,
that
दैट्स फाइन कि
intimacy
अगर वो
language has
नीड नहीं
changed.
रह गई
Yeah.
है. हाँ
Huh.
हाँ बिल्कुल
Huh.
वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये ना समझ लो अच्छी तरह से कि ऐसा है. अब आई गिव यू अनदर एग्जांपल कि वी वर टॉकिंग टू वन पर्सन in one of the clarity calls, and that person in the call with us realized that she was asexual. Now, asexual people do not have the need to be sexual with someone, but because you are not aware, तो आप अब आप किसी से शादी करते हो तो उसका हस्बैंड होगा उसको तो एक्सपेक्टेशन होगी ना. अभी इफ यू आर नॉट इन टू दैट एंड यू डोंट वांट टू हैव दैट तो अभी हस्बैंड कहाँ जाएगा. तो अल्टीमेटली द हस्बैंड विल बी पुश्ड टू बी डिसलॉयल इवन इफ दे डोंट वांट टू बी. तो ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीजें हैं कि हमें अपने बारे में अपनी खुद की सेक्सुअलिटी के बारे में पता होना चाहिए रादर देन वी देन सेइंग उसको लेबल कर दें कि माय हस्बैंड इज डिसलॉयल नाउ एंड ही इज गोइंग ही इज हैविंग अफेयर विद समवन एल्स. लुक एट द सेटअप बिकॉज इट्स वेरी वी कैन जंप वेरी क्विकली टू से कि ऐसे हो गया. पर इफ इफ यू आर asexual and you do not have asexual people have zero need for sexual intimacy. They are very fine with themselves. In fact, they don't even masturbate. So अब वो अगर शादी में जा रहे हैं and they're marrying a person, how how can the other person not have this? So so वो it is bound to convert into a disloyal relationship. This is just bound to happen. कितना टाइम कोई खींच लेगा इस चीज को. So these things are very important to understand before we conclude anything. एंड बिफोर वी इवन से कि अभी इसका रीस्ट्रक्चर करके इसका शेप और फॉर्म हमको क्या करना है, उसके लिए भी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू नो आवर सेल्फ आवर नीड्स एंड नॉट डिनाइंग दैट एंड मेकिंग श्योर कि हम सिर्फ इन रीजन से नहीं कर रहे कि oh because of the kids or because of the finances or because of I have old parents or someone depending on me and all that. नहीं होता है वो सस्टेनेबल. क्योंकि आगे चल के अगर आपने अपने किड्स के लिए भी ये किया ना तो कहीं ना एक रिजेंटमेंट बिल्ड हो सकती है व्हेन दे ग्रो ओल्ड एंड दे शो देयर ओन डिसीजंस अबाउट थिंग्स एंड देन यू विल फील कि मैंने कितना कुछ इनके लिए किया, मैं आई आई लिव लाइक दिस एंड ऑल दैट और आज ये इस तरह से मेरे को ट्रीट कर रहे हैं ऑल दैट. सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट एनी डिसीजन शुड नॉट क्रिएट रिजेंटमेंट फॉर फ्यूचर. तो बहुत सोच समझ के इन चीज़ों के ऊपर डिसीजन लेने की ज़रूरत है. दिस इज व्हाई इट्स ऑलवेज हेल्प टू वर्क विद अ प्रोफेशनल इन दिस एरिया एंड वर्क दीज थिंग्स आउट कि ऑप्शन क्या हैं आगे जाने के लिए, किस तरह से इसको शेप और स्ट्रक्चर करना चाहिए इस सिचुएशन को.
Yeah, and this actually, when Akarma was talking, so much like real life example, I remembered that we had a client. Hmm? So they were a couple and they didn't have a sexual maybe months, and it was so less often. It barely used to happen, maybe once or twice in 3-4 months or something like that they were talking about. And We and the husband also had these episodes of infidelity again and again over many years. He used to come from different belief systems and X and Y and Z, and then we did directly ask the husband that why is it not happening in between you guys, right? So we asked the wife. She said that yes, I'm always interested. I want this, but my husband doesn't. And we asked the husband, and he said that I don't feel attracted in the relationship because it's every time I get into it, the wife is talking about all the sad and all the crap that is happening in her life. So I have slowly lost interest in this thing completely. Hmm. And that could be one thing which could be happening in the relationship. So as the person in from the receiving end, again it comes back to communication, and that doesn't mean that the next person can use this as an excuse of cheating or anything like that, but as the person in the receiving end to bring clarity, because now you have to make a decision whether you want to stay in this relationship, not stay, whether you want to leave, or if you want to stay in this relationship, what are the terms and conditions, how they are going to be, right? And that is why it's important to ask these things. And let's suppose we take the example of that wife, and how so she was coming from her own insecurity, right? So the husband wanted something else from life, the wife wanted something else from life. So that doesn't mean that they were bad people, or they were not they had an intention to cheat or not be good with each other. It's just that they were both coming from so much trauma from their ends, and they were both completely on separate books, not different pages of the same book. They were on completely different books, right? So it's really important first to come to the same page and see that what's happening, what the heck is happening, right? And every time the husband would do something like that, the wife would directly jump into the blaming mode, because she would take it personally that, oh, this is because of this is because of that, and then she would never even acknowledge this fact that why he is feeling so left out and so excluded and so lonely in the relationship, right? So yeah, that was one thing I wanted to add. Now two people have their hands up. Vishali.
So, yeah.
Hello,
Yes.
hello. Yeah, I am a 53-year-old, unmarried. I never had a physical relationship with anybody because of this fear of polygamy of male. So I doesn't want to get married because I know males are polygamy. But 1 year back, one of my friends, she suggested one person. He was a widower. He has two small kids. So I contacted him on.
Vaishali, I am not polygamous.
Hello. No, no, it's not all the men,
Vaishali, I
but
was
most.
saying, you said
most
males are red, so I was just
no,
clarifying.
no, no, no. It was designed like that. No. So not all, but mostly. So I will not, if I get married and if my husband will do these things, I will not accept. So better not to get married. But 1 year back, my friend suggested one person who was widower. So I contacted him only on phone. We were talking, but I feel magnetic pull. It was a very soul connection. I felt, but after some time, I realized he has some personality disorder because he cheated me. Cheated me in the sense that on 14th of February, he called me at 12 o'clock and he said, "You come and marry me." Next day, I called her sister. He said, "No, I never talk like this." Then I felt cheated. So I was very upset. It was a dark night of soul. Uh, then came to know about this twin flame relationship. Then I searched many videos on YouTube, but they said it's a twin flame is a relationship between narcissist and empath. I am empath. I know. So it was very difficult for me to accept him, and it was very difficult for me to keep away me from himself. I'm getting pain. Yesterday I cried a lot because I loved the wrong person. Then why this is happening with me? This was my question. And I'm afraid because of sexually transmitted disease. I'm a doctor. So
I
HIV.
I can tell you one thing very clearly over here.
Hmm,
This whatever you have learned about twin flame, That is incorrect.
Okay. But what he said,
That's the
he
first
had.
and foremost thing that all those concepts, what you are telling, that is
Uh,
not at all what a twin flame relationship is. Anything near about what you're describing.
okay. But if he is a
So
narcissist, then.
then he could be. I'm not denying that.
Uh,
But you are
uh,
saying that a twin flame relationship is between a narcissist and an empath. All that.
okay.
Your understanding about a twin flame is incorrect. So it's important that you first apply the concepts correctly if you are going to apply. Okay,
Okay.
if you are going to use labels, then use them correctly because this is
Hmm.
totally incorrect.
Mhm. And what
Hmm.
he shared with me that before his wife expired, he had a physical relationship with another woman with in front of his wife. So this is very
Hmm.
horrible. I cannot accept
And
this.
yet you continued with that relationship.
Yeah, no, I was blocking, then I was unblocking, again I was blocking. I
But why
totally
were
am.
you blocking and unblocking? I'm saying that he's
Uh,
telling you all these things, and yet you are not able to move away.
no, this he has told me last month, not that before.
Okay, so he told you this last month, right? He's
Yeah,
told you
and
this
then I
last month,
then
and you're
yeah,
saying
then I
I'm
blocked.
still crying.
No, I
Correct,
blocked
and
him,
you're
but
still
I am
crying.
crying. Yes,
Why?
that's why I'm telling you why I'm attracted to him. This is my
Yes,
question. I
because
know.
you are wrongly associating the concepts of twin flame over here. That's why I'm saying
Okay,
this
okay,
is nothing to do with twin flame. You have
okay,
to look at your own insecure attachment style over here.
okay. So
This
I
is
understood.
not twin flame relationship. You are
Hmm,
see maybe you have read and you are resonating with the stages and everything that is there.
yes.
So this is the
Hmm,
difference between reading about these things on Google or watching YouTube videos and actually having a conversation.
hmm,
So things can be clarified. So
hmm, hmm,
I can tell you that this is
hmm,
not twin flame.
hmm.
So
He, he,
first get
he, he is saying
yeah
that you don't involve in me. Then I was thinking why he contacted me and why he said you come and marry me. What is this type of personality? Then
yeah
I thought
running
about
chasing running chasing happens in all relationships.
okay,
Running chasing happening does not mean that this is a twin flame relationship.
okay. And
Yeah,
one
every
day he called.
relationship has, especially fearful avoidant
Uh,
people who. If you are coming from a fearful avoidant attachment style and he's coming from an anxious, preoccupied attachment style, or vice versa,
uh,
running and chasing will be there.
okay.
So two people
So,
having insecure attachment styles which are opposite to each other, they also match very well.
uh,
So
because he's
you are reading
completely
something and applying somewhere else altogether.
okay. That's why I'm confused. That's why I said I better I call.
Yeah, yeah. So it's
Then
better
how
that
to get out?
at least from this call, you drop
Uh,
this confusion, you drop this level of twin flame altogether, first of all.
okay. Then
So
how to come
at
out of
least
this guilt feel
come come out of this. So in order to
guilt.
come out of this, I'm saying that the problem is in your insecure attachment style. So there are three types of. If you read about the attachment styles theory,
Hmm, hmm,
it talks about three types of insecure attachment styles, and
hmm.
objective is always to work on that and move towards a secure attachment style.
Okay.
So read about it.
Hmm,
We have YouTube videos on this topic as well. We have covered this in past conversations.
hmm,
You check our YouTube channel; those conversations are there on the attachment style.
hmm,
So what I would say is, as a first and foremost thing,
hmm.
listen to those conversations that we have. So solution is
Okay.
in that conversation as well.
And because of this, I am not able to believe on any male now.
Right.
I just
Yeah.
kept fixed in my mind. I cannot believe on any male now.
You cannot believe on any male, but you want to. Correct.
Yeah, I want, but it's not there, no?
You want to. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
That's true. You want to. That is why you're talking. Otherwise,
Yes.
if you didn't want to, then you would have just closed this chapter and said,
Yes.
"That's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
I'm closing myself for all the males forever,"
Hmm.
and then
Hmm.
you will be happy.
Yes.
But the reason you are talking is because you can't, but you want to.
Huh. Right.
So that's fine.
I,
That's
I
fine.
want,
That's okay. That's not a problem.
no, I am loyal. I expect loyalty in my husband also if he's there in my destiny. That I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah. Of course.
Hmm.
So you will come to that point.
Huh.
Um, first, first resolve your own insecurity.
Okay.
See, the equation is very very simple to understand, and this is for everyone on the call. This equation
Hmm.
is very very simple.
Hmm.
When you come from insecurities, you will always attract people with insecurities.
Oh.
This is plain and simple mathematics. Plain and simple
Okay.
mathematics. We have thousands of examples. Our
Hmm.
YouTube channel is filled with these kind of conversations. Every week we are doing 80 plus conversations are there. Listen to them.
Okay.
You will see that
Yeah, Akarma, may I
insecurity.
add something here?
Just I'll just complete this
Yeah,
slide and
yeah,
then yes,
yeah,
you can.
sure.
So when you have insecurities, you will attract insecure people because people who come from secure attachment style, they will
Hmm.
not find you attractive.
Okay.
And when I say they will not find you attractive, I'm not talking from physical point of view. Physically, you might be a very attractive woman,
Hmm.
okay? But you're not their type,
Hmm.
right? So
Right.
first
Right.
you become secure. When you become a secure attachment style person, you will
Hmm.
then only feel attraction towards people who also come from secure attachment style. Then you will not feel attracted to insecure attachment style people. So the
Okay.
question is that will my husband do this? Will the question itself will become meaningless.
Okay. Because I saw one patient, she suffered HIV because of her husband, polygamy.
Sorry.
So I saw one patient, her husband got HIV positive because he has gone
Uh-huh.
somewhere else. So
Yeah,
unnecessary
yeah.
wife is
Yeah,
suffering because of
like
him.
people do that. I'm not denying that. People do that. People do all sorts of things. So
It,
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. But saying all males are like that, that is why I quickly jumped and I said I'm not like that. So I just invalidated your statement right there itself.
okay.
And
No, but I came
and
across the
you
people like
started.
that only.
एक
So
चीज
see,
I
if
want to
you
add one small thing
एक
here.
मिनट एक मिनट एक
Sure.
मिनट एक मिनट एक मिनट see, it is very important that you become aware about your language. This is
Hmm.
the reason why I interrupted you that time. When we see coaching, may this is the basics. When I learned coaching 20 years ago, these are the basic lessons that we learned. That language is the most important thing for the client to understand. If you believe not all men are polygamous, then say that. Don't say
Okay.
all men are polygamous and then say, oh, no, 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 I don't mean all men. If you don't mean
Okay.
all men, then don't say all men.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, because if you
Yes.
continue to say all men, then
Hmm.
subconsciously you are sending message to your mind saying all men, and
Okay.
then even if the right person will come to you, you will see them as polygamous only.
Yes. Yes. Correct.
So
I will
first
correct myself.
change your
Yes.
language. First
Yes.
change your
Yes.
language. This is the reason why I interrupted you, and I said I'm not, and
Yes. Yes.
and and on the spot itself I invalidated you.
No, I came across the such people only. No, that's why I labeled.
So even if in India every person is polygamous, I said I'm not. So at least you have one example who's saying
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
not. So it's
Okay.
not 100%. It's not all
Okay.
men,
Okay. Yes. Yes.
right?
Correct.
Yes,
Yes. Huh.
many are there. Many men are polygamous. If you say many men are polygamous, I'll agree with
Huh.
that.
Yes. Yes.
But
Okay. Okay.
saying many men are polygamous, meaning
Huh.
there are still many who are not.
Yes. Yes.
So you still have chance to find the right
Yes.
person. If you say all men are polygamous and then say I'm not finding the right person, I'm not finding the right person, of course you
Huh.
won't find the right person.
Okay. I will change my mind.
Yes, change your
Okay.
language. Yes,
Yes.
yes, Anamika. Sorry, Reena also. Yes, Anamika and Reena, you wanted to say.
Yeah, I'll just add, a short thing about what Vishali was talking about. So, Vishali, when you have beliefs like this, na, so
Hmm.
even if imagine that your perfect partner, the one you want, right, and he comes somehow, get manifested in your life, and he's sitting right in front of you, and
Hmm.
you are thinking, and somehow you guys start talking, you start liking him as well and sab kuch. But back in your head, this insecurity is going on ki this person is also going doing like that, this person may also do like so. आप उस conversation में you are not even there with that person, and what you're doing all the time is projecting your own fears on a person जिसने शायद अपनी लाइफ में कभी किसी को चीट नहीं किया होगा.
अच्छा.
सो वो उस बंदे को अगर मान लेते हैं मैं वो इंसान हूँ, मान लेते हैं आई एम दैट मैन, एंड आई फील आई हाउ वुड आई फील, आई वुड फील यार मैंने तो ऐसा किया ही नहीं, उससे अच्छा तो मैं कर ही लेता. भाई जब मैंने कुछ किया ही नहीं, आई एम बीइंग मेड रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर अ क्राइम, आई एम बीइंग क्वेश्चनड फॉर अ क्राइम दैट आई हैव नेवर कमिटेड, उससे अच्छा तो मैं क्राइम ही कर लेता. या फिर it loses the trust, it makes the relationship completely untrustworthy, क्योंकि सामने वाले का कैरेक्टर असैसिनेशन आप बिना किसी प्रूफ के, बिना एविडेंस के ऐसे ही कर रहे हो. सो इवन इफ समहाउ कोई ऐसा इंसान आ भी जाता है ना मैजिकली, समहाउ भगवान आपको बोलता है ये लो रख लो, आप उस रिलेशनशिप को सस्टेन ही नहीं कर पाओगे जब तक आप अपने अंदर ट्रस्ट डेवलप करना ना सीख लो कि हाँ आई कैन हैव समबडी हु इज लॉयल टू मी. Because you'll keep questioning people in your life, people who you encounter in your life, regardless of the fact whether they do something like that or not. और इसी को हम self fulfilling prophecy बोलते हैं, right? कि वो सामने वाला बंदा एक टाइम के बाद इतना परेशान हो जाएगा that obviously he'll not feel attracted to you, he'll not feel loyal to you, he'll not feel anything like that to you, and he'll end up doing that, and then you will say what? I attract people like that. मुझे तो ऐसे ही लोग मिलते हैं. तो आपने ये सिचुएशन अपनी लाइफ में खुद क्रिएट की है.
अच्छा.
हाँ, in that case.
That's it. So Vishali, for you, the final words from my side is, first and foremost thing, drop this twin flame thing, because you're not in the twin flame journey. What you're describing, it's nowhere close to that. So drop that and stop watching those videos and stop resonating with all those things, because they're just screwing you up for no reason, right? So stop that. And second, watch the attachment styles video on our channel.
Okay.
The solution is there in those videos. That what needs to be done.
Okay.
Reena, you wanted to say something?
Yes, two things, Vaishali. First of all, um, a human being tends to question whatever is positive in life. When somebody tells us, I love you, we always say, oh, really?
Yes.
But when somebody says, I hate you, we very easily tend to believe in that. So be careful about not questioning positive things. And second thing, it's just like a friendly advice from my end. There is no relationship in this world worth sacrificing your life for. This is the hard fact of life. So many times our near and dear ones, our parents who are the most loved people, they leave us and they go. Death separates us, but we don't go with them.
Yes.
So this is the harsh reality of life. There is no relationship worth sacrificing your life for. That's all that I can say from my end.
Okay.
Thanks, Reena. Sarika, you had your hand up first, so you want to go. Okay, you don't want to talk, Sarika? Okay, Lata, your hand is up.
Hey, hi everyone. Yeah. So my question is, I mean, I'm confused over here. I understand it is about the infidelity thing, but if we consider polygamy as always bad, or if we accept it in our lives, like now we have seen there are open marriages as well, in which both the partners are allowed to go out, and so in those
Yeah.
situations, if we accept it and allow it, because everyone has needs, and if we if it is not getting fulfilled with the partner, and if we allow that partner to, okay, you are allowed to because I have seen a few of the instances, one of my male friend, he was telling that because they are from the Jan family, and his wife turned into kind of a they'll be moving to the celibacy, and will be following that for her own, for complete life. And he was like okay with it, but his wife used to tell him that I am not, going to cut, we are not going to have the sexual relationship, but you are allowed to go. If you have the need, please go and have it. So in such scenarios, is it okay, or you think it is not okay to have the
But
open
Lata,
relationships?
1 minute.
Hmm,
Why are we
hmm.
discussing that? Because between husband and wife, if it is okay, हम क्यों discuss कर रहे हैं?
So would that be infidelity? I mean, I'm not sure. Would it hamper the relationship? Because
But husband and
sometimes
wife
we
में
say,
ही तो arrangement है ना. There are many couples who get engaged with other couples, and you are saying many couples who decide कि people are doing threesomes, foursomes, and
hmm,
people are deciding कि हम अपनी open marriage रखेंगे, we can see each other. तो वो कर रहे हैं तो हम क्यों उसमें हम क्यों judgmental हो रहे हैं? मतलब why are we saying कि वो infidelity है या नहीं है? वो तो दोनों ही मिलके डिसाइड कर रहे हैं ना कि हमको ऐसे ही जीना है. तो
हाँ,
हम
लेकिन
हम क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं
ये
उसमें?
ये चीज रिलेशनशिप पे अफेक्ट करेगी, क्योंकि अभी तो ऊपर ऊपर से बोल, समटाइम्स पीपल डू से कि चलो ओपन रिलेशनशिप
मैं
कर लो, बट
तो वो देख
एग्जांपल
लेंगे ना,
देती
तो
हूँ.
वो
आई
होगा
हैव
तो.
अ फ्रेंड. I have a friend who is, maybe around, let's suppose 45. एंड ऐसा एक एग्जांपल नहीं है, ऐसे मैं बथेरे एग्जांपल्स दे सकती हूँ, बट मैं एक दे रही हूँ अभी. तो he and his wife, so they are both like very beautiful, क्या बोलना चाहिए, people. Like they both are very beautiful, very charming, very attractive, husband and wife both. And I was just speaking to him, and he was mentioning to me that um, he started flirting with me. And I just asked him a question, that is it okay for you if your wife starts flirting with somebody else? And he said, of course she does. And he was like, both of us do that, and both of us are aware, and we have been doing it from years now, right? So I don't know, I didn't get into the detail of what kind of agreement they had. I said, okay, whatever it is, I don't want to know about it. But they were pretty clear. So their condition was said that because of the kid, we have to be together, because of the society, we have to be together, because of whatever XYZ, we have to be together. But we are no longer very much satisfied with each other. So they made a term and condition that both of us will explore outside the relationship. And they were actually, that guy was, I somehow sense that both, they actually were interested in me as a couple, not as in that guy was interested in me. So I sensed it, and I was like very uncomfortable. So I told him that I'm not interested, right? So all sorts of things happen. But as a couple, so their relationship is retained, right? They are very clear with each other what they are doing, why they are doing, and they are fine with that. So, like, who can question what? And I have seen couples, trust me, who, I don't know what all terminologies are there in this kind of thing, but they're exploring it with other couples, and
तो
doing
ये
different
सर,
things.
this is not infidelity. Infidelity is when one is doing and hiding it from the other. This is the disloyalty part of it. That's infidelity. When both are very clear with each other कि उनको ऐसे ही रहना है, उनको ये उनका यही, अभी हम यही तो बात कर रहे हैं कि सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन अगर उनकी ऐसी ही है, और एंड दे बोथ आर वेरी क्लियर कि हमारी ये सेक्सुअल ओरिएंटेशन है और हमको इस तरह का लाइफस्टाइल चाहिए, एंड दे आर बोथ वेरी क्लियर, तो उसमें प्रॉब्लम क्या है? तो फिर उसमें जो भी प्रॉब्लम आएगी वो लोग देख लेंगे ना. अभी उसमें हम क्यों प्रेडिक्ट करें बैठ के कि इसमें ये आगे प्रॉब्लम आएगी, वो आगे प्रॉब्लम आएगी? वो तो नॉर्मल रिलेशनशिप में भी प्रॉब्लम आती है.
Yeah.
So
And there
it's
was
like
one
they will
other
deal with it.
couple. Yeah. And there was one other couple I know, and I have met them, and they were in this kind of engagement in an open relationship. So they were, of course, married in an open relationship from, I guess, 10 or 12 years. And they were so happy together. And they both actually were telling us stories about their own partners. So basically, they had a relationship where they were friends and they were officially married, but they were actually in relationship with different people and happy. So it's really about, couple to couple, that whether they have this kind of clarity between each other.
Does that answer your question, Lata?
Yeah. The reason I'm asking because sometimes when we because if such discussions happen with my husband, I'm not sure you know or some of the friends may not be with the husband, but yeah, if some other male friends. So I just wanted to understand how we are not accepting. Is it kind of a backward or mentality that or
हम
because
हाँ नहीं हो सकता है ना, बिल्कुल हो सकता है. वी आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स इज बिकॉज वी हैव मेड दिस स्टैंडर्ड कि it should
hmm,
only mean this, and if anything that is
yeah.
happening outside of this, it's all bad. Now the problem is not कि this or that. Problem is कि जब लोग छुप छुप के करते हैं. See, और सारी प्रॉब्लम्स तो इसी में आती है कि जब लोग छुप छुप के करते हैं, जब उनको करना है लेकिन वो बता नहीं रहे हैं क्योंकि उनको पता है कि ये एक्सेप्टेबल नहीं होगा.
Correct.
तो हम जो भी बातें करते हैं, इनफिडिलिटी, चीटिंग, ये वो, बिट्रेयल, डिसलॉयल्टी, ऑल दीज थिंग्स आर अबाउट द फैक्ट कि वन पर्सन इज नॉट फीलिंग कि दे कैन डिस्क्लोज दिस टू द अदर पर्सन, क्योंकि उसको पता है कि नहीं, ये बात टचेगी नहीं, ये बात डाइजेस्ट नहीं होगी.
Hmm.
तो जब दो कपल मैच्योर एनफ हैं और एक दूसरे के साथ ये चीज खुल के शेयर करके, कम्युनिकेट करके बता सकते हैं कि दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट एंड दे आर बोथ ओके विद दैट, तो फिर उसमें हम कौन होते बीच में बोलने वाले? ये सही है या गलत? फिर उसके साथ ये सारिका, योर हैंड इज अप. यू वांट वैशाली, कैन यू प्लीज म्यूट योर? Sarika, you want to talk?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hi, Karma. Hi, Anamata. Hi, everybody else. I'm sorry for the other moment. I was speaking on mute. There's a lot of noise in the background. Am I audible properly?
You can talk now. Yeah, there is a lot of background noise from your side, Sarika.
No, that's fine now. I believe there's no noise.
Go ahead.
So, two, three things in my mind, running in my mind. Number one, I'll step 2 steps back here. When we're talking about infidelity, what exactly is infidelity? Is it only about sexual orientation or sexual, attraction? If a husband and wife are, if two people are married together, they are, and if suppose the husband or the wife is not.
Sarika, Sarika, actually your voice is not very clear. थोड़ा बीच बीच में ब्रेक हो रहा है.
Okay, am I better audible?
Yes, it's better now.
All right. So I was saying that suppose a couple is married and both of them are not sexually involved outside the marriage, but either the husband or the wife is very much emotionally or into the other things. He or she is involved with somebody else, but not sexually. Will it be counted as infidelity or not? I mean, what is the fine line where
मतलब technically speaking, this is not infidelity. मतलब on
So
technical basis, says infidelity involves sex.
look, matlab, I actually do not agree with this at this point. Maybe I am wrong,
नहीं, मैं
but then
समझ रहा हूँ आप नहीं, बहुत many women will not agree with this. I know that. Even I think males, let's say for example, even if my partner will do that, maybe I will not also agree with that. So I know कि मैं सिर्फ, आपने क्वेश्चन पूछा कि will this be, तो मैं सिर्फ टेक्निकलिटी के बेसिस पे बोल रहा हूँ कि it's not.
so does that mean infidelity is only about sex?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Can I
the
ask
other
something
thing,
on this topic only? Hello.
Even I had something to say after Neelu on this only.
I want to know, I
But
want to know
एक मिनट,
why
just 1 minute, Neelu.
emotional.
Sarika, 1 minute, Neelu. Sarika, are you done?
no, I'll continue. So into this, and in addition to this, once Seema was talking about this thing that certain people are just not confined to one relationship, maybe sexually or emotionally, whatever you say. If suppose sexually we are talking, one person into a married relationship is not kind of a person who can be confined. So, and of course, the other person needs a single. The other person is a single, man, woman, or single woman, man kind of a person. How to deal with that person? Is there a solution? कि एक तो जाता है कि उसको ना मल्टीपल
समझा नहीं,
लोगों
मैं
से एक बार
क्वेश्चन
में
नहीं
प्यार.
समझा.
Suppose there's a husband and a wife, and the husband loves his wife. They are physically, emotionally involved, and he also maybe feels attracted sexually or like somebody else also. I mean, he maybe can have multiple partners, but of course, the wife is not like that. So, of course, this is a bad situation. Does this have
Yeah.
a solution?
Yes, this is the solution is what we just talked about कि if both agree कि ये ऐसा ही है. See, as we said that there are plenty of couples that we know. हमारी ही community में बहुत सारे. So there are plenty of
I,
couples who
Akarna, sorry to
are
interrupt,
happily
but
having.
हाँ, लेकिन एक एक
Uh,
ही है उसमें से जो
I हाँ,
मल्टीपल जा रहा है,
I
बट
got
दूसरा नहीं जाना चाह रहा है.
yeah. So जैसे कि you were asking this question, right? कि is it like कि हम क्या बोलना चाहिए? We are not catching up with the society and all that. So नहीं. जैसे कि हम यहाँ पे acceptance ला रहे हैं to other sexual preferences, we also need to accept our own sexual preference. कि if you are only interested in having a partner who is only loyal to you, then you also have to bring acceptance to your own monogamy, right? And you need to set this very clear कि हाँ अभी मेरे को सिर्फ मोनोगमस रिलेशनशिप चलेगा एंड देन द अदर पर्सन इज लेट्स सपोज नॉन मोनोगमस. ठीक है, अभी ये पॉइंट पे जब डिसीजन आ गया दैट व्हाट यू वांट, यू हैव क्लैरिटी अबाउट इट, द अदर पर्सन हैज क्लैरिटी अबाउट इट, नाउ what kind of resolution do you want to bring in the relationship? So you, there could be two ways: either you move out of the relationship or you decide to stay in the relationship. If you decide to move out of the relationship, okay, fine, you can find another partner who is right for you. If you, because of xyz reasons, you decide to stay in the relationship, then also you need to again look into and discuss what are your needs and what are your expectations from this relationship, right? And that communication of terms and conditions has to be very clear.
और इसमें रेजोल्यूशन में ये चीज बहुत जरूरी है कि हम ये नहीं बोलें कि मेरे को ऐसा ही चाहिए और अब ये ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, क्योंकि फॉर दैट रीजन इट इज वेरी मच पॉसिबल दैट द पर्सन योर हस्बैंड और द गाय विल से यस एंड देन ही विल स्टिल कंटिन्यू आउटसाइड, देन इट विल बी इनफिडेलिटी. क्योंकि उसको एक्सेप्टेंस नहीं मिल रही है ना, क्योंकि यू आर नॉट एक्सेप्टिंग इन द वे ही इज, और आपको लग रहा है नहीं मेरे को तो इसी को ही चलाना है, इसी को ही बनाना है, पर मेरे को ये ऐसा चाहिए. तो फिर उसके पास कोई ऑप्शन नहीं बचता है ना अदर देन टू डू दिस छुप छुप के करने के अलावा.
I yeah, in concurrence with you. Okay, so the
हाँ.
third and the last thing that I had to say is that the only thing that you were discussing right now, if two people agree on whatever kind of relationship they want to have between themselves, be an open relationship or whatever, then it will not be termed as infidelity. अगर छुप छुप के कर रहे हैं, then it is infidelity. But what I believe is
Yeah.
practically ऐसा नहीं होता है कई बार. Sometimes people do agree कि ठीक है, you can go out of the marriage and explore. बट क्या होता है, सपोज एक हाइपोथेटिकल एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं कि सपोज अ हस्बैंड इज इन्वॉल्व समवेयर एल्स, ठीक है, बता करके कर रहा है वो, वाइफ इज ओके, वाइफ भी कहीं बाहर एक्सप्लोर करने चली जाती है फॉर एग्जांपल, तब हस्बैंड ने अग्री तो किया था, बट वो सामने जब सिचुएशन आई तब उसको थोड़ा अनइजीनेस, अनकंफर्टेबलनेस होने लगी, देन मे बी ही डज नॉट रिएक्ट द सेम वे, क्योंकि चीजें कहना और करना डिफरेंट होता है.
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, दैट इज द टाइम टू सीक काउंसलिंग ऑन दीज मैटर्स. कि पहले आपने एक म्यूचुअल एग्रीमेंट किया, आपको लगा कि एज मैच्योर इंडिविजुअल्स वी कैन हैंडल दिस, एंड यू डिसाइड यू डू, और उसको भी लगा कि हाँ हैंडल हो जाएगा, लेकिन जब उसके आगे ये सिचुएशन आई, जब उसको करना था उसने तो आराम से कर लिया, आपने किया तो उसको प्रॉब्लम हो गई. तो फिर यू नीड काउंसलिंग इन दैट एरिया कि अब कैसे, या तो इसको बैठ के डिस्कस करके इसको खुद सॉर्ट आउट कर सकते हो तो कर, नहीं कर सकते हो तो टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम समवन टू गेट दिस सॉर्टेड। पर बिना इसके तो नहीं होगा ना, क्योंकि यू कैन शो मैच्योरिटी टू सम लेवल, बट अगर नहीं आ रही है तो देन टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम दैट, कि भाई अगर डिसाइड करिए कि हाँ हमें सॉर्ट करना ही है, हमको नहीं छोड़ना, हमको ये सॉर्ट करना है, तो देन टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम समवन एंड get some different perspectives and let the third person handle the situation for you both.
Hmm. Okay. 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 Pretty much satisfied. Yeah. I'm done now. Thank you.
No problem. Sanyogita, you have your hand is up before. Sanyogita, तुम कुछ बात
Hello.
करनी,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have to
yeah. Am
unmute
I
and talk.
audible?
हाँ,
Yeah.
yes you are.
Actually, I have two questions. One is that, if one of the partner is committed and loyal, and the other person is, and that partner is on the receiving end, and if the other partner or spouse is not taking accountability of what he has done, he doesn't feel guilty, nor is he willing to take accountability or accept the fact also that he has done something? He's not ready to answer any question around it. When confronted, what should the partner at the receiving end do? And secondly, if this partner is, if one of the partner is really committed and loyal in a relationship, and how to overcome such kind of a situation, you know, these two questions I have.
This is what we term as a toxic relationship. That दो लोगों में अगर रिलेशनशिप है और कोई कुछ कर रहा है और अगर आप उनसे कुछ पूछ रहे हो और उन्होंने साइलेंस को ही अपना बना लिया है कि मुझे तो किसी बात का जवाब नहीं देना है, एंड आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू बी, दिस इज अ टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप.
Okay.
So once again, professional help is required in this area. You both have to agree. कपल रिलेशनशिप में जब प्रॉब्लम होती है तो बोथ हैव टू पार्टिसिपेट. सो अगर आप किसी काउंसलर के पास, कोच के पास भी जाओगे, अगर हमारे पास भी आते हो इस प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए, तो हम हमेशा यही बोलते हैं कि बोथ पीपल हैव टू पार्टिसिपेट. ये प्रॉब्लम एक के हल करने वाली नहीं है, दोनों को पार्टिसिपेट करना है. और अगर दूसरा पार्टिसिपेट करने के लिए रेडी ही नहीं है, दूसरे को आना ही नहीं है, उसको कुछ बात ही नहीं करनी है, उसको कोई ओनरशिप नहीं लेनी है, उसको कुछ देखना ही नहीं है, तो ये टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप है. और टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप का एक ही सॉल्यूशन होता है, गेट आउट ऑफ इट.
Okay.
हाँ,
Okay.
या तो बिकम हैप्पी विद दिस, या तो इस चीज को अपना लो कि यही आपका फेट है, दिस इज हाउ इट्स गोइंग टू बी. या तो बिकम हैप्पी विद दैट. इफ यू कैनॉट बिकम हैप्पी विद दैट, इफ यू कैनॉट एक्सेप्ट इट एज योर फेट कि दिस इज द काइंड ऑफ पार्टनर फॉर यू एंड यू हैव टू लिव द रेस्ट ऑफ योर लाइफ लाइक दिस, या तो इसमें खुश हो जाओ. और अगर इसमें खुश नहीं हो पा रहे हो तो फिर उससे बाहर निकलना ही एक सॉल्यूशन है. क्योंकि अगर दूसरा नहीं कर रहा है, उसको नहीं देखना है, उसको बात ही नहीं करनी है, उसको इस बारे में कुछ जानना समझना ही नहीं है, उसको इम्पैक्ट ही नहीं देखना है कि आपके ऊपर क्या हो रहा है, फैमिली के ऊपर क्या हो रहा है, आप तो कुछ नहीं कर सकते हो. एज अ कोच आई एम टेलिंग यू, मैं 20 साल से ये काम कर रहा हूँ. एज अ कोच आई विल नॉट टेक दिस एंगेजमेंट.
Right.
अगर मेरे पास ऐसा कोई क्लाइंट आएगा और वो ये बोलेगा ना, मैं वो एंगेजमेंट लेता ही नहीं. भगवान भी आके हेल्प नहीं कर सकते उस इंसान की जो खुद नहीं अपनी हेल्प करना चाहता. तो
True.
nobody can do anything. So stop taking too much responsibility of situation. That is what my message is. Take responsibility of what you can fix, you can control, but do not take unnecessary responsibilities of everybody as well. कि आपको सब कुछ आप ही को करना है. क्योंकि अगर रिलेशनशिप की प्रॉब्लम एक इंसान सॉल्व कर सकता होता ना, तो 90% रिलेशनशिप्स आज की डेट में फक्ड अप नहीं होता.
Right.
वो इसीलिए है क्योंकि रिलेशनशिप इज अ टू वे स्ट्रीट. बोथ हैव टू कम टू द टेबल, बोथ हैव टू वैल्यू दिस रिलेशनशिप कि हाँ हमें फिक्स करना है. हाँ, वो ये बोल सकता है, आपका हस्बैंड ये बोल सकता है कि मुझे नहीं मालूम कि कैसे करना है, मुझे नहीं मालूम है कि क्या प्रॉब्लम, दैट इज फाइन। मेरे को वो चलेगा, मेरे पास कोई क्लाइंट आएगा वो ये बोलेगा कि मेरे को नहीं पता है कि इसको सॉल्व कैसे करना है, मेरे को वो चलेगा क्योंकि मुझे पता है वो हम कर लेंगे, वो हमारा काम है। लेकिन आना तो पड़ेगा उनको पहले। अगर उनको आना ही नहीं है, उनको देखना ही नहीं है, उनको बात ही नहीं करनी है, साइलेंस इज देयर बेस्ट रिस्पॉन्स, तो फिर देर इज नथिंग, देन इट्स डेड, इट्स अ डेड रिलेशनशिप।
Right. And my second question is like, uh, uh, how to overcome, such relationships, because it comes like a shocker to you. You're not aware, and
Make
it's like
yourself,
sudden.
make
Yeah.
yourself, make yourself strong to get out of। ओवरकम का मैंने वही आपको दो सॉल्यूशन बताया कि यू हैव टू मेक योरसेल्फ स्ट्रांग एनीवे, इवन इफ यू डिसाइड कि आई एम गोइंग टू स्टे इन दिस, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay in this, and I'm going to find happiness in this situation. You still have to become, you still have to do inner work, and you still have to become strong. If you decide I have to leave, then also you have to become strong. Both ways you have to become strong to handle this situation either way। एंड आई नो, जो रीना भी पहले बात करी थी, एंड आई नो कि आपको और मेनी वुमेन फील कि ये मेरे पे थोप दिया गया है, ये आ गया, मैंने तो ये नहीं चाहा था कि वो तो किसी कोई और कर रहा है, अब झेलना मुझे पड़ रहा है, ऑल दैट आई एग्री।
Right.
यस, यस, आपके ऊपर ये थोप दिया गया है, ये यू डिडंट वांट दिस, नोबडी वांट्स दिस काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप, नो हस्बैंड वांट्स अ वाइफ लाइक दैट, नो वाइफ वांट्स अ हस्बैंड लाइक दैट, आई टोटली गेट दैट। पर अब तो ये हो गया ना, तो अब तो देखना पड़ेगा। तो if you are getting impacted, then you are the one who has to take the first step. When he will get impacted, he will take the step. Right now, he is not getting impacted. उसकी लाइफ चल रही है।
Yeah.
हाँ, तो he will not take any initiative. He will not do anything. उसकी लाइफ चल रही है, इज फाइन। आपकी लाइफ नहीं चल रही है, आपको प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, आपको इम्पैक्ट आ रहा है, तो आप ही को देखना पड़ेगा। यू हैव टू बिकम स्ट्रॉन्ग बोथ वेज, whether you decide to stay or whether you decide to go, both ways you have to work on it।
Right. Thank you.
Yes, Reena, you
Karma, there is my best friend who's in a very difficult situation right now. She has been in a relationship with a man for 3 years, with a married man for 3 years, and she has been extremely loyal to him. Now, recently, she found out that he would tell her, things like at 9:30 in the evening, he would say that I'm going to sleep, but then he was involved in late night chats with somebody else, and it got involved into calls also, and I guess meeting also. So when she questioned him, he accused her of character assassination. He says, "You're doubting my character," and stuff like that. So, and then he suddenly blocked her, and they've not been on talking terms, and he's not ready to get back to her. She has, she's been wanting that relationship. But isn't this, what kind of relationship setup is this? And I mean, could you tell me what is the way out for her?
yeah. So see, when someone is mistreating us and we are still ready to say कि I want this, I want this is the, तो होता क्या है कि ना, again, I'm saying कि women, I'm only saying this because we are mostly working with women, the group is also mostly women, so वही हमसे बात करती हैं। I'm sure men also go through this, but वो बात नहीं करते, तो इसलिए हमें ज़्यादा मालूम नहीं। तो um, women have this tendency to see two good things about someone and then overlook eight bad things that they are doing, saying अरे वो इसमें तो बहुत अच्छा है, ये तो बहुत अच्छा किया। And my question is always, just because someone is doing two good things with you, does he get free ticket to do eight bad things with you? Why is this equating to that? So why can't we see two things separately? कि हाँ, इन मामलों में वो अच्छा है, और कोई भी 100% अच्छा या बुरा नहीं होता, ये तो पता है हमें। वो भी इवन अ ब्रोकन क्लॉक इज राइट ट्वाइस अ डे। तो क्या हम वो ब्रोकन क्लॉक को रखेंगे क्योंकि वो 2 बार तो सही टाइम बताती है दिन? तो
No, here
वो
like
ठीक है।
Sangyogita, he also did not want to clarify his step or the relationship. He
हाँ,
admitted to her also that yes, he's interested, and that's the reason why they were talking. So is that also a toxic relationship?
इट इज अ टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप डेफिनेटली। इट टॉक्सिक रिलेशनशिप तब हो जाती है जब हम कमिट हो जाते हैं और उससे बाहर निकल नहीं पा रहे होते हैं, तो इट बिकम्स टॉक्सिक। बट ये पूरी सिचुएशन में जो मुझे बहुत क्लियरली दिख रहा है इज दैट शी इज कमिंग फ्रॉम इनसिक्योर अटैचमेंट स्टाइल एंड शी इज इनसिक्योरली अटैच्ड to this person, overlooking everything wrong that he's doing just because maybe he's doing few right things as well. So, what is her need to latch on to this? क्योंकि हम इस लैक माइंडसेट से कई बार आते हैं कि शायद इससे बेटर कुछ नहीं मिलेगा। तो
Right,
why
right.
why is this becoming a thing कि हमें दिख रहा है, सब दिख रहा है कि so my question is always कि this person, if they are treating you like this and right now you're not even married, then imagine what extent they will go to, what level of taken for granted they will do when you are married.
Akarma, this is very closely related to what you said a few minutes back. You said that if a person is involved outside, but emotionally, but not sexually, then it is not infidelity. But Akarma, isn't it the worst degree of infidelity if a person is involved
For
emotionally?
I agree. I agree.
You
See,
know,
ये मतलब
sexual
for women, yes, yes,
sexual
I agree. See,
involvement, one for once, one can
yes,
overcome a sexual involvement, but emotional.
it depends. It depends. See, if I very crudely talk about it from a male point of view, if I say from male point of view, sexual becomes a primary thing. So males will not tolerate that from their female partners. However, I have encountered like majority of women are okay to overlook sexual part, but not okay to look the emotional part. They feel कि emotional is more important. So
I want to
emotionally,
say
I
something.
should be at the priority.
Yeah,
Maybe a karma. I just wanted to add, maybe when you were saying that it's not okay because I've been there. So it was not okay with me when I was not able to accept the emotional part because to me, sex is connected with my emotions. And if my man is connected emotionally somewhere else,
I
and
know women feel
we
that
are
way
having
about
a
sex. I
duty
so
know
then
this is
sex,
unsaid, but
eventually, then
men
eventually
can
it
have
will lead
sex
to,
without emotions also.
yeah, so
yeah,
then
but
it can eventually lead to infidelity, right?
It
Because
can,
even,
yes, yes,
yeah,
it can.
so
Because
like you
men can
said,
very much have
yeah.
sex without emotion. Men don't
And
Yeah,
need
so for
yes,
emotions
female,
to have
yeah,
sex.
so for female, emotions matter a lot. And if a significant partner is doing like emotionally cheating, so then obviously it can lead to infidelity now. So obviously then on a bigger level it
It
is.
can,
Yeah.
it can.
yeah,
और
and
अगर वो नहीं
Akarma,
भी हो
I
रहा है ना,
feel
अगर वो नहीं भी हो रहा है, तो भी उनको ये लगता है कि I should be the one. We should be discussing all these emotional matters and all that. I should be the one. I should be the number one on his list. सो अगर वो नहीं भी है ना, फिर भी उनको ये लगता है कि ये मैं ओवरलुक नहीं कर सकता। सेक्स को फिर भी ओवरलुक कर सकती हैं विमेन, ये नहीं ओवरलुक कर सकती हैं। मैन अदर वे
exactly,
राउंड,
yeah,
मैन
yeah,
सेक्स को
that's
ओवरलुक नहीं कर सकते, इमोशनल को ओवरलुक कर देते हैं क्योंकि इमोशनली हम इतना ज्यादा कनेक्ट नहीं होते ना चीजों से, तो हमें वो
yeah,
इमोशनल इतना ज्यादा
because
समझ नहीं आता।
so that way, the sexual orientation between men and women, men के लिए sex is more of like a need, but for women it's more of a emotions connected through her need.
हाँ,
Yeah.
एग्जैक्टली,
So
एग्जैक्टली।
so don't you think so? Then the infidelity when a man is doing emotionally and sexually तो वो involved है ही है पर वो emotionally भी हो गया then it's a double infidelity ना I mean it's the worst case
हाँ,
because he's
इसीलिए तो इतना लगता है ना, क्योंकि लाइक आई
yeah
थिंक नीलू इज समवन रीना वाज सेइंग कि अगर कोई इमोशनली इतना है तो अल्टीमेटली तो फिर सेक्स हो ही जा सकता है। तो इट्स लाइक कि women can think that far कि this can lead to that and most likely it will also।
yeah yeah
And one more thing, Akarma, I feel that my friend's boyfriend, he's married and he's involved with her. He had been involved with her for the last 3 years, and he could still get involved to somebody else so easily, being in a loyal relationship. So I feel
एग्जैक्ट
that is one of the most biggest examples of toxic.
इट इज तो उसको आपकी फ्रेंड को ये देखने की जरूरत है कि why she felt attracted to unavailable men।
Mhm.
उसकी ऐसी क्या नीड है कि शी फेल्ट अट्रैक्टेड टू अनअवेलेबल मैन। सो यही इसी को ही हम इनसिक्योर अटैचमेंट स्टाइल बोलते हैं।
So,
तो
yeah
so
शी
she,
कुड
sh-
हैव फियर ऑफ
so
कमिटमेंट
she
और
should
वट
get
एवर इट
out
इज।
of it. She should get out of it.
She should first fix her insecure attachment style. See, out of it is only a consequence. She will get out of it. She will get involved with somebody else like that. Nothing is changing in her. People will change, their name will change, situation will change। आपकी फ्रेंड में तो कोई चेंज नहीं आया ना।
नहीं,
आपकी
और
फ्रेंड ने तो
एक
नहीं
चीज,
देखा कि ये क्यों हो रहा है।
हाँ, एक चीज, ये जो उनके fears and insecurities and everything is there, but these kind of people treat their partners not as partners but actually like projects, because उनको लगता है कि अच्छा मैं किसी तो काम आई ना। सी, दिस पर्सन इज इमोशनली अनअवेलेबल बट आई एम द काइंड ऑफ पर्सन हु विल टेक दिस जॉब टू मेक दिस पर्सन इमोशनली अवेलेबल, राइट? तो ये बंदा तो है ही ऐसा, लेकिन मैं, बिकॉज उनको लगता है ना कि अच्छा मेरा कोई तो यूज है इस लाइफ में, कोई तो मेरी वैल्यू है।
हाँ,
सो
तो ऐसी
But
रिलेशनशिप
Anamika,
को हम प्रोजेक्ट बोलते हैं।
when they started the relationship, both of them were in a very beautiful energy, and they both were equally involved with each other.
बट
So
हाँ,
it's
तो
रीना,
not.
कोई भी
वो तो
रिलेशनशिप
वो तो
होता
तो
है वो
नई
स्टार्टिंग
रिलेशनशिप
में
तो
तो,
ऐसे ही होती है।
हाँ, स्टार्टिंग में
नई
तो
तो
हनीमून
रिलेशनशिप
फेज
honeymoon
तो
होता
ऐसे
है,
period
ही।
था
चाहे
ना
वो कितने, हाँ, कितने भी
that's the
टॉक्सिक
honeymoon
लोग
हाँ,
हों,
period
उनका
yeah
भी स्टार्टिंग का एनर्जीज बहुत अच्छी होती हैं, चाहे कितने भी
yeah
दुनिया के टॉक्सिक लोग हों, क्योंकि
love bombing
स्टार्टिंग,
होती है bread coming कितना कुछ होता है like that's like a honeymoon period
नहीं,
that is
कोई भी
like बहुत
नया टॉय,
beautiful
हाँ, कोई भी
yeah
नया टॉय मिलता है तो वो अच्छा ही लगता है।
yeah exactly
किसी नई जगह पे आप काम भी स्टार्ट करते हो तो बहुत अच्छी एनर्जी से ही करते हो। फिर थोड़े दिन के बाद तो वही टॉक्सिसिटी बिल्ड हो जाती है जो पुराना छोड़ के आए थे।
So, Akarna, this is looking like more of a trauma bond and coming from like codependency and all. Like I've been there in my like this abusive marriage because of this reason only. कि मुझे लगता था कि this is a project, I have to take care of everything. And then, like I said, that I've started observing कि I don't have that capacity. I'm doing it because somebody else is telling me, or maybe I feel hopeful, but it used to grow more toxic, more bad. And when I came out of it, it has left so much of so much of trauma in me. But now actually looking at your attachment styles helps you a lot. And yeah, definitely this is a toxic and trauma bond, and maybe more things will come up if she looks inside. And this is a good time when if she's been blocked, then she should respect that space and contemplate on herself. Otherwise,
हाँ,
like a
आई
karma
थिंक
is
अच्छा
saying,
ही है।
it's
शी इज ब्लॉक, शी इज बीन सेव। लेट, उसको बोलो ब्लॉक ही रहो।
हाँ बिकॉज शी इज राइट क्योंकि रीना फिर क्या होगा मैंने देखा है देर इज अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइन मे बी शी इज नॉट टेकिंग थिंग्स इन लाइफ so seriously but she is okay to be with the unavailable men, she's okay to be with the married men who actually uses her, then she goes into so much of bad days, months, and again she'll attract the same person in the hope that she'll find a right person through like this. So I was just telling her कि ऐसे नहीं होगा This
And
is not
this
going to.
man seems to be in the same energy as Sanyogita specified, that he's not willing to even clarify his stand. And he kind of wants to escape from the situation and not want to talk about
He
it.
would
No,
be
because
doing, see, the
he's
reason,
avoidant.
he's avoidant, absolutely. He will be, the reason he got attracted to your friend is क्योंकि वो शुरू में सब honeymoon period चल रहा है and all that. But the reason he is doing that is because उसकी अपनी वाइफ के साथ भी यही चल रहा होगा कि वहां पे भी वो अवॉइडेंट है, वहां पे भी कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, तो नाउ ही अब आपकी फ्रेंड भी उस पॉइंट पे पहुंच गई, तो नाउ ही विल बी लुकिंग फॉर अ थर्ड वन. तो
You'll be
वो उसका वही
surprised,
पैटर्न चलने
Akarma.
वाला है.
You'll be surprised that she got the biggest red flag in the beginning itself, but she I think ignored it, and she should have recognized it. On the first trip that they went, I
इनसिक्योर
mean,
अटैचमेंट स्टाइल,
this
इनसिक्योर
couple
अटैचमेंट
went.
स्टाइल से भी हम
Yeah, so
उसी
this
के वजह से
couple
लोग करते हैं.
so this couple went with another friend of hers. All three of them, they went to a trip. And during the trip, the boy was trying to woo her friend as well. So
तो
I feel that that was a big red flag for her. But
It
maybe
was,
at
and people who, everybody, every single person, why we say कि insecure people attract insecure people, क्योंकि जब हम ये रेड फ्लैग्स इग्नोर करते हैं तो सामने वाले को ये पता चलता है कि अच्छा ये वाला अगर मैं करूंगा तो इसको चलेगा, then this is the right person for me, this is exactly the right person for me, and that's how we get attracted to such people, and ये सब कई बार subconscious level पे हो रहा होता है,
but
right?
Anamika,
People are picking up. Yeah.
after this incident, when she questioned him on the trip as well, or during the trip only, so he said that, oh no, I'm going to change myself. Then he changed himself also. For the next 3 years, there was nothing wrong in the relationship. Everything was going fine. And then one day, suddenly she finds out about this other woman. So, I mean, what do you have to
So
say
what
about
does
this?
it tell you? What does it tell you? कि 3 साल से he was such a good actor.
Could be, could be.
And how was so sure कि कोई और था ही नहीं?
Yeah. Yeah.
प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है ना, जब हम इनसिक्योर अटैचमेंट स्टाइल्स में फंसे होते हैं ना, तो हमको वो देखना ही नहीं है, हमको देखना वही है जो हम देखना चाहते हैं कि अरे ये तो इंसान सुधर गया, 3 साल में ये हो गया, वो हो गया. हमें रियलिटी देखनी ही नहीं, क्योंकि ना हमें ना दूसरे में ना बस अच्छाई अच्छाई ही दिखती है, तो हम एक वो पॉजिटिविटी में ना फंसे होते हैं कि दूसरा
Akarma,
कितना
I
बेवकूफ
must
बना
say
रहा है
here,
हमारा, हमें दिखता ही नहीं.
exactly. But I must say that my friend is making all attempts to, get back to life, stay happy in her own energy. She is trying. It's not that
I'm
she's
sure,
not trying.
I'm sure, I'm sure she would be fine. I'm sure about that. I'm saying कि प्रॉब्लम क्या है ना कि ये सारी सिचुएशन हमारी लाइफ में आती हैं, और हमें कोई गाइड करने वाला नहीं होता है कि एक्चुअली में करना क्या है. तो जो होता है वो हम करते, कि दूर रहो उनसे, ब्लॉक कर दो, मेडिटेशन करो, अपने ऊपर फोकस करो, ये करो वो करो, ठीक है. लेकिन हमने तो कोई शिफ्ट आया नहीं, तो थोड़ा टाइम इस चीज से ब्रेक मिलने के बाद नेक्स्ट पर्सन दैट शी विल फाइंड अट्रैक्टिव, इज दैट पर्सन गोइंग टू बी एनी डिफरेंट? आई डाउट दैट. Nothing is going to change. If all she is getting right now is a brick. If she is not getting guided to see through her insecure attachment style and move to secure attachment style, then everything that she is doing, I can very well tell you, कि yes, it might be bringing a lot of peace and quiet and calmness to her because अब वो उससे बात ही नहीं कर रही है, इग्नोर करके बैठी है, ब्लॉक हुए पड़े हैं, ये सब वो सब है, डिस्ट्रैक्टेड है, तो अलग बात है. सॉल्व तो कुछ नहीं हुआ है यहाँ पे.
Right.
अभी भी तो वो इनसिक्योर, वो वूंड लेके तो अभी भी बैठी है, बस वो वूंड को कोई कुरेदने वाला नहीं मिला अभी तक. वो जैसे ही मिल जाएगा वो फिर से हरा हो जाएगा.
Akarma, I can relate to what you are saying because after my this abusive marriage, 1 2 years, because एक तो 2 साल कोविड ही रहा, so I thought कि मैंने वो जो अपने आप से meditation काम ये कर लिया, now I'm healed, एंड अब जब नेक्स्ट कोई रिलेशनशिप आएगा, आई एम द वेरी बैलेंस्ड पर्सन, बट आई एम लाफिंग राइट नाउ सेइंग इट, बट मेरी लग गई, क्योंकि इट्स लाइक सीरियसली इट वाज लाइक जो मतलब एब्यूसिव हस्बैंड था उससे भी डबल वाला मैंने अट्रैक्ट कर लिया. और again it was so difficult to leave him. Like Reena, I can relate so much with what you were saying about your friend, that pehle like wo 3 saal. So I when I left this guy, I used to justify everything in my mind कि अच्छा नहीं नहीं ये तो उसका अच्छा था, he was so caring, maybe I went wrong. So I was still circling. But the day I landed up to Anamify, and it was like, अभी मुझे अपने आप को fix करना है. I am the project, and I'm not going to attract any more men like that. I want to see कि ऐसा हो क्या रहा है कि I always attract worst people in my life. अभी ये तो हो नहीं सकता that I am like कोई मतलब what is happening. So my curiosity lead me to Anamify, and then attachment style actually made me understand that why it was happening and what it was. So it started making sense to me, and it gave me a lot of courage to actually heal my own self. And yes, we all are looking for love, and it's wrong to say that कि मैंने दरवाजे बंद कर दिए. No, we are humans, and definitely everybody wants a man or a good wife or whatever, a lover to understand. But अगर हम heal नहीं करते ना, तो मैंने अट्रैक्ट करा है. So और वैसे ही सही बात है कि you will keep attracting different people. Maybe faces will change, names will change, but the pattern will remain same because you're not understanding. It's something that each person is telling you, that something is going on with you. You cannot blame all the time all men are wrong. Maybe it can be other around, that something is wrong with me that I am attracting such people. So the question should be other way around. I feel that.
हाँ, और जस्ट टू क्लैरिफाई दिस लैंग्वेज विच आई ऑलवेज डू, कि हम जब ये बोलते हैं कि वी आर अट्रैक्टिंग, तो ऐसा नहीं कि वो कोई मैग्नेट है और वो कोई कील की तरह वो अट्रैक्ट करे, ऐसे नहीं होता है. बाय अट्रैक्टिंग व्हाट वी मीन कि हम दिन में 50 लोगों से मिलते हैं, और उन 50 लोगों से जब हम इंटरेक्ट करते हैं तो हम रेजोनेट उन्हीं लोगों के साथ होते हैं जिस लेवल पे हम वाइब कर रहे होते हैं. जो हमारी इनसिक्योरिटीज हैं, हमारी जो वुंड्स ट्रॉमास हैं, हमें जब वो दूसरे में वो एक अपना ट्राइब जैसा लगता है कि हाँ ये तो मेरे साथ इसकी भी वही प्रॉब्लम है या वो, तो हम वाइब उनके साथ करते हैं. तो इट इज अबाउट वी फीलिंग अट्रैक्टेड टू दैट पर्सन. सो वो ट्रॉमा एक दूसरे को भाई भाई की तरह से ना वो रेजोनेट करते हैं. तो जैसे ही हम
Yeah,
अपनी
Karma.
हीलिंग कर लेते हैं तभी भी हमारी लाइफ में इसी टाइप के लोग आते हैं, लेकिन हम उनको अंडरस्टैंड करते हैं, हम उनको के साथ एम्पथाइज कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हम उनके साथ ना कोई रोमांटिक परस्यू नहीं करेंगे, क्योंकि हमें पता है दे आर नॉट अवर टाइप. मेरा हो गया, मैं इस चीज से अभी बाहर निकल चुका हूँ, अभी मेरा हो गया, मैं इसके साथ सिंपथाइज कर सकता हूँ, एम्पथाइज कर सकता हूँ, वी कैन केयर अबाउट दैट पर्सन, but that's not my type. So my type will be person who understand, who is secure. So that is what we mean कि लोग तो हमारी लाइफ में वैसे ही आते रहेंगे, पर फिल्टर कौन
Absolutely.
होता है.
Karma, some time back you were talking about energies. Now, sometimes it happens that when you are in a negative energy, you feel very unwell around certain people, that you don't feel comfortable, you are not at ease. So, how does one deal with such situations? Negative energies go positive. How do you make yourself more
By
positively
raising
energized?
your energy level, by raising your energy level. So there is nothing to deal. It is about transmuting. It is about transcending. तो हम डीलिंग और मैनेजमेंट पे तो हम फोकस ही नहीं करते. हमारा तो हमेशा यही रहता है कि आपको प्रॉब्लम को पालना क्यों है, आपको मैनेज क्यों करना है, आप ट्रांसेंड करो ना, ऊपर उठो ना उससे. आपको अगर आज की डेट में भी आपका इम्यून सिस्टम हजारों लाखों तरह के वायरसेस के साथ अभी भी लड़ रहा है, व्हाइल यू आर टॉकिंग टू अस एंड यू आर हेल्थ जैसे, तो आपका इम्यून सिस्टम डाउन होगा तो फटाक से आपको अटैक होगा. आपका इम्यून सिस्टम हाई रहेगा तो आप बड़ी से बड़ी प्रॉब्लम झेल सकते हो एंड ऑल दैट. तो ये अपने इमोशनल मेंटल स्टेट, अपने एनर्जी की इम्यून सिस्टम को भी रेज करो ना. डील
And
क्यों
how
करना
do
है
you
उन लोगों
raise
के
that?
साथ, राइज अबव.
And how do
हाँ,
you raise
तो
that?
how do we raise that is that we talk about two types of blocks that we are all carrying: mind blocks and energy blocks. So mind blocks are these things: our thinking patterns, our wounds, our traumas, our conditioning, our mindset, how we have seen things कि ऐसे होना चाहिए, ऐसे होना चाहिए. जैसे this, for example, you were taking the example कि एक फैमिली में ऐसे होना चाहिए, बच्चों को ये लव की लैंग्वेज ये सीखिए. So it's about all those conditionings that are not working for us, and still we are holding on to them क्योंकि कोई तो ब्लॉक्स हैं जो हमको वो पत्थर हटाने नहीं दे रहे. So we have to work on identifying those blocks and get rid of them. So insecure attachment styles, mother wounds, father wounds, inner child wounds, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, all these things that happen. और या फिर घर में ही पेरेंट्स से या रिलेटिव से या टीचर से हमने सर्टन टाइप की थिंकिंग, सर्टन टाइप का थॉट प्रोसेस अडॉप्ट किया हुआ कि ये ऐसा होना चाहिए, ऐसा होना चाहिए, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. तो ये सारी चीजों को देखने की जरूरत है, इन सारी चीजों को धीरे धीरे करके रिजॉल्व करने की जरूरत है. तो ये एक जब हम करने लगते हैं तो हम इंटरनली स्ट्रांग होने लगते हैं, हमें एक इनर स्ट्रेंथ आने लगती है. फिर दूसरा होता है एनर्जी ब्लॉक्स दैट वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट. सो एनर्जी ब्लॉक्स आर समथिंग विच आर एनर्जेटिक ब्लॉक्स इन योर चक्रा सिस्टम. तो बहुत सारी ट्रॉमास और लाइफ एक्सपीरियंसेस और ये सब चीजें झेल झेल के हमारा जो एनर्जी सिस्टम है वो करप्ट हो जाता है, ब्लॉक हो जाता है. जैसे आपकी आर्टरीज ब्लॉक हो गई है, कोलेस्ट्रॉल जमा हुआ है, तो खून उसमें से पूरा निकल नहीं रहा है. तो इसी तरह से जब आपका एनर्जी सिस्टम ब्लॉक होने लगता है तो एनर्जी फ्लो नहीं होती है, तो यू फील ड्रेन, यू फील लेथार्जिक, यू फील इनसिक्योर, यू डोंट, या तो सेक्सुअल अर्ज बहुत कम होगी या बहुत ज्यादा होगी. यू डोंट फील कि यू कैन डू एनीथिंग, आपको कुछ करने का कुछ भी एम्बिशन नहीं आ रहा है. यू फीलिंग लेथार्जिक, यू फीलिंग यू आर प्रोक्रेस्टिनेटिंग, you are not able to verbalize, express your feelings, you can't communicate, you can't set healthy boundaries, you are being taken for granted, but आपको फिर भी झेले जा रहे हो, becoming a doormat, और आप इसके कुछ बोल नहीं पा रहे हो, कुछ नहीं कर पा रहे हो. So these are all energy blocks that needs to be also addressed. So for the mind blocks, that is something which we say कि वो उसके ऊपर आप खुद काम कर सकते हो. So people can become more aware, read about it, understand these things like I'm talking about attachment styles. So you can see what are they, क्या है. Attachment style theory was invented in 1950. So it's very well-known theory. So you can read about it, see कैसे है, क्या है, अपना फीलिंग प्रोसेस उसमें क्रिएट करो कि मुझे इनसिक्योर से सिक्योर में कैसे आना. तो ये खुद कर सकते हो आप. अदरवाइज यू टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम समवन हु कैन गाइड यू, कि अगर आपको खुद नहीं बनाना है, आपको जो कि बस मेरे को हेल्प करो, आई जस्ट वांट सम गाइडेंस एंड आई जस्ट वांट समवन हु नोज दीस थिंग्स एंड दे कैन वॉक मी थ्रू, यू टेक हेल्प फ्रॉम दोस पीपल. हमने हमारे, यू कैन कम टू अस, यू कैन आस्क योर फ्रेंड टू कम टू अस, यू कैन सी कि पर्सनल कोचिंग की जरूरत है या कैसे है. अदरवाइज हमने ई लर्निंग जर्नीज क्रिएट की. दिस इज अ पोर्टल दैट वी हैव क्रिएटेड. जो भी हम वन ऑन वन कोचिंग करते हैं, उस अगर कोई हमारे पास आता है ये प्रॉब्लम लेके अटैचमेंट स्टाइल वाला, तो उनको हम जैसे जैसे कोच करके वैसे वैसे हमने ई लर्निंग जर्नी दिया हुआ स्टाइल वो बना. तो people subscribe to our portal, and there are plenty, many e-learning journeys are there. This is one, things like how to stop being taken for granted, how to set healthy boundaries, how to heal grief, how to heal these attachment styles, love languages are related, and many 10, 15 e-learning journeys are there. So they are all healing journeys. So people subscribe to it, take subscription, 3 months, 6 months, 1 year subscription लेते लोग, एक एक करके अपनी जर्नी करते, अपने ऊपर काम करते. अटैचमेंट स्टाइल जर्नी इज वन ऑफ द मोस्ट फेमस जर्नीज दैट वी हैव. सैकड़ों लोगों ने ऑलरेडी करी है एंड दे आर बेनिफिटिंग फ्रॉम इट. सो आपकी फ्रेंड चाहे तो वो सब्सक्राइब कर सकती है एंड शी कैन यूज दैट सब्सक्रिप्शन. वी हैव 3 month सब्सक्रिप्शन ओनली कॉस्ट $1000. तो शी कैन सब्सक्राइब एंड डू दिस. अगर उसको लगता है कि नहीं, मेरे से अपना तो नहीं हो रहा है, मुझे हैंड होल्डिंग चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए कि मैं किसके साथ बात करूं, क्योंकि उसमें हम अपना पर्सनल टाइम नहीं देते. So that is there. Then she can speak to us or she can find someone to help her out. But बिना गाइडेंस के ये होगा नहीं. बिना गाइडेंस के ना करना DIY I don't recommend. I really say कि मत खेलो अपने आप से। DIY करने में लोगों के सालों साल निकल जाते हैं, तो ये मत करो, क्योंकि सी DIY में आप इंफॉर्मेशन तो ले आओगे, एक्सपीरियंस कहाँ से लाओ? आप आपने पढ़ लिया, आपने कॉन्सेप्ट तो समझ लिया, लेकिन जो कोई आपकी हेल्प करा जाएगा उसको तो एक्सपीरियंस भी है कि क्या करना है, क्या नहीं करना है, कैसे करना है, कैसे नहीं करना है, वो कहाँ से लाओगे? वो तो आपको कर करके ही आएगा। अपने ऊपर खुद ही एक्सपेरिमेंट किए जा रहे हैं लोग, तो वो सालों साल लगे, कितने दिन से लगे, वो हो ही नहीं रहा है कंप्लीट, और फिर दे गेट एग्जॉस्टेड बाय दैट। तो आई डोंट रेकमेंड इट, बट ठीक है, लोगों को करना है तो दे डू इट। ये
Definitely,
ऑप्शंस
I'll
हैं
tell her
देन।
to get in touch with you, Akarma.
हाँ,
She should
एनर्जी
take this.